$7 to get laid, like that's like Thailand level prices, right? What's your opinion on that question?
Tinder and Bumble worth paying for. Hinge, you don't need to pay for. You can use
really.
Yeah.
So for me, Tinder paying for the boost gets me tons and tons of matches, but Bumble is not really worth it. Like Tinder is worth it for me, but Bumble
it's the
is
opposite.
Really,
it's the opposite. Also,
That's
because for Bumble, I'm like really lazy, and I like that the girls have to message you first.
Yeah, they say.
Now, granted,
face.
Yeah, exactly. Like, granted, you still have to like carry the conversation because they're usually just like, "Hi,
hello,
hey,
hey, how you doing?"
Kevin.
Do you pay? Have you paid for boosts?
Yeah. Oh, and another thing on Bumble too is like they call it Spotlight, and it's like way cheaper. Like I remember you can buy like it's like $1 for each one, and then I think Tinder the boost is like was it like $10 or something?
Yeah, Tinder's more, but Tinder like one boost I'll get 30 likes or so, and then Bumble one boost I'll get like 5 likes. So it's way better.
I do want to mention something with the boost.
I think one thing. Sorry, real quick, Alex. One thing that because I had a similar problem, and then I didn't realize that my settings were all like messed up, as in like the radius and the distance and whatnot.
It was such a.
So when I came back out here to Dallas, like I'm more kind of in the countryside, and I still had my settings to Vegas where it was like really close. So I was just not matching, but you would see the people that liked my profile, and they were all very. You know the thing they say of like, oh, everything's bigger in Texas, yeah, including the women, unless you're like in the cities, right? So sometimes you have to maximize your distance. So that might be something with you, Avery, is like one of the settings there.
I do want to mention something with boosts. This is something that I think a lot of people don't realize is so when you do a boost, you get obviously a temporary boost in your results, but you don't go down to baseline. You go below baseline because the algorithm is like, oh, this guy's willing to pay for it. So if we don't show him a lot of matches, he'll just buy another boost, right? So it takes a while before you go back to baseline. So it's like doing a hit of heroin. Like you feel good, right? But then you go to a lower point than you were already at, right? And it takes time to recover. And that creates a cycle where you're just constantly paying for boosts to get matches, which is why me personally, I'll only pay for boosts.
It's better not to use boosts, you think, really?
Overall, I think possibly, yeah. Like I will only pay for boosts if I'm traveling. I only have a few days in the city and I need to get the matches. But like in my regular city, I don't pay for boosts because then again, like I speculate you go below baseline, then you have to pay for it again. And just like this up and down cycle.
I mean, it's $35 for 5. So that's like a whole week once per day. And if you do that like consistently.
If money's not an issue, it doesn't matter. It's just like if you're really tight on a budget, like, but don't think you can just like get one boost and then you go back down to regular. You go a little bit.
Yeah,
lower.
I get no likes when I'm not boosting now, but when I do boost, I get a shit ton. Exactly. So it's got like when I boost it, it's definitely worth it. Like $7 to get laid, like that's like Thailand level prices, right? That's a good price.
But the point is, if you were never boosting, you might have actually been still getting those matches, right? Because it would just
that's a good point. Yeah, like, you just gotta assume because I'm pretty sure Tinder and Bumble are owned by the same company, and all they do, their whole business model is just to try to make men miserable, to try to make them pay for their shit, and then use women. They're never going to make the women pay because they don't have to, right? I mean, Alex, you ran that experiment of that fat girl that got 500 likes somehow in Miami.
Not surprising.
That's a good point I hadn't considered. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like once you pay anything on those apps, you're probably like a mark, and there's like, let's try to throttle this guy's matches as much as we can.
Dude,
so
that is so true.
The goal is always to extract as much money from the dudes as possible. Another very interesting thing that also a lot of people don't realize is when you're upgrading, you can only go up, but you can't go down. So meaning if you go from Tinder Gold to Tinder Platinum, you'll be fine, right? But if you decide to go down from Tinder Platinum to Tinder Gold, they'll actually throttle you in order to get you to resubscribe to Platinum. So if you're thinking like, oh, I'll try out Tinder Platinum for a week, and if I don't like it, I'll just go back. You can't actually do that. Like once you go to Tinder Platinum, you have to actually stay there. You can't go back down. So if you're like not sure, just stay at Tinder Gold or Tinder Plus, because once you go up, you can't really go down without restarting the profile.